Hello there, this is Cookies. I've got turn 20. Now, it is my current turn, but my internet's out at the moment, so I'm recording while it's out. So I can't log into the server to show, so this is what I've got locally. So we're gonna go ahead and check out what we got. We found 3 more magic sites in Nidian range. So we found an enchanted tower, a copper idol, and a hidden gold mine for 150 gold. So now this is a 190 income province, which is bananas. There's a number of small battles. In terms of events, we had a scorching desert wind sweep over the land. And we got a couple of gnomes. So I guess at some point we could divine name them and break into some higher nature that way. That'd be pretty nice. And our god can do that. So also nice. Our scout was discovered by Bandarlog. In terms of battles, though, we have the Queen Forest. So we have another man army from Kidson with a number of landless knights. We have a 12 attack, 17 damage broadsword and a nice shield to protect themselves from their own longbowmen. I have a feeling are going to be doing most of the killing. And this force is going after these cavemen. Alright. And then we have Fascia attacking Asphodel on Fascia. Now, alright, so I missed something over a couple of turns. So Fascia got invaded by Asphodel. Fascia is played by Kirby, who's a pretty good player. And Asphodel is being played by Distant Horizon, who I've seen his qualifiers game, which was very good, where he was playing Nazca. And I think he used to play in a lot of the old Ruin games, but I could be wrong. But he's really fun to watch too. And yeah, so he's got a number of these Black Centaur. Let me just double check. Yeah, the Distant Horizon playing Asphodel. He's also got some of these Harpies. So they have these talon attacks, so they can definitely kill exposed mages. We have a number of Colossi Light Infantry who come with a javelin and a spear. Great First War troops, I think. Some Orichalcum Guard, who, this is like some metal that comes from the mine that's in Fascia. So in terms of their bless, they're rocking fire resistance +5, cold resistance +5, inspirational +1, and leadership. So they should have some nice morale. And leadership is nice because it applies to all the troops rather than just the sacred ones. And he's also got some gigantes, so pretty cool. And his god is here. So what had happened was they were fighting. Asphodel invaded Fascia. Asphodel's taken Fascia's cap. And this is Fascia trying to put the cap back under siege. This is everything Fascia has. So we're going to see what Kirby can do. Number of paths on this guy. He's got Inspiring Researcher. And we have a Colossi Queen and a few Weavers as well. So just pulling everything out for this. There's a number of these Black Centaur. And let's start it to catch a little bit of their bless. Alright, so in terms of the Black Centaur, they're rocking defense skill +5. Blur, Blood Surge, Mending Bones for undead, and heroism +200%. So Mending Bones will heal undead. It's kind of like recuperation for them. And Blood Surge is pretty nice stat boost once. If you're able to kill something, then it makes it easier to kill more. And then blur is another effective way to help defense. So let's see. Let's get one that's not wounded. So this guy has a few experience stars. He's up at 20 defense. He's not even blessed yet. These are some mercenary heavy cavalry, and they don't matter too much. Alright, so we see this guy 25 defense, which is very high defense, so he's extremely hard to hit. And he's blurred, so enemies will get an attack penalty. So kind of like effectively 27 defense. And then he's also got recuperation. He's got a light lance, a hoof, a javelin attack. Susceptible to fire due to bark skin. So yeah, just very killy. Let's see how Kirby plans to deal with that. But yeah, it is very difficult to harass down opponents when you need to harass them down by as much as like 10 or 12 in terms of stats. And some of them got body ethereal even too. Woo! So the mercenaries have been generally routed, or they're asleep, because mannequins have a sleep vines where they get 3 attacks. That does fatigue damage. So they harass the shit out of you, and then they put you to sleep, and they kill you that way. So if you kill them, they're not too bad, but if they get a chance to really throw in a lot of attacks, they can do this, where you have heavy cavalry just at 200 fatigue, taking damage that way. So we can see all these troops trying to fatigue down, or harass down, sorry, not fatigue down, the Black Centaur. Cool new carrion bears. Still 3 attacks with sleep vines, but 68 hit points. Pretty nice. And has swiftness put on it. Probably a mage buff. They finally get an HP route. And Mindburn will do it. In terms of MR, they're at 13 MR, so a lot easier to target their MR than their defense. It's just early enough in the game where it's hard to make the magic work that way. Alright. And yeah. So Fascia loses 2 Colossi heavy infantry, 22 light infantry. Their mercs, half their gigantes, 1 of their sacreds, so not too bad there. Sacreds are 40, gigantes are 35, colossi are 20. So to give you an idea on cost, so pretty expensive loss. Asphodel lost a bunch of free spawn and lost 6 of their sacreds for 55 gold each. So they're also pretty expensive, and lost some Centaur warriors at 35. So I think... Oh, but they also lost a Lizard Shaman and a Minotaur Lord. So I think Asphodel came out ahead on this, just because of the volume of light infantry that died. But kind of good to keep tabs on stuff like this. And then Vanarus is attacking Pythium. Or pinging Pythium. So Zan's seen what's sitting on top of the cap. And then Ballin's going after going after Hubberton. So he's brought his prophet here. You can see the MR +1 comes from a throne, but he does have regen and fire shield. So number of lava warriors and some Abyssian infantry when possible. And some archers to back things up. These guys have enough armor that archers are unlikely to damage them, even though they aren't carrying shields. They'll probably still do some damage, but it's not too bad. And the regen should help heal through a lot of that. Alright, so he loses 2 archers. And yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the map. Alright, so Balin's war against Bandarlog is continuing. He's put this, was it the Farseer Mountains under siege. We see Bandarlog has moved out, so we've got the Tiger Riders and 140 troops in Black Peaks, but Abyssia under Balin has moved into Hubbardton. He's got a few more squads coming in. I suspect the god is on Farseer Mountains. And we're continuing to scout around. In terms of underground here, we're going to go ahead and roll it against these Cynosif aliens. I don't want to wait long enough for these guys to try and sneak back out. I don't want to break my peace with iFlight by doing it, because I'd probably have to send them out in small batches so they don't get caught, all sorts of nonsense. So we're going to go ahead and roll against the Cynos, and then if things are going well for Balin, we can maybe trade this cave for some other concessions, like Panuonia and maybe Plothai. That would be pretty nice too. I could get these 2 for the 2 caves, and then he would still have pretty good access through here. Let's see. In terms of other stuff we're doing, we're forging an alquill this turn using our new hammer. We don't quite have enough earth gems to make another hammer, but we're thinking about it. And, oh, I guess all the arrows. So, Jotunheim under Snuggles did end up going after the False God, who's playing Pyrene. You can see a attack into Hyperboche, Evergreen Forest, and Mapeto Cliffs, all along the front here. False Gods. Well, we both did a lot of testing today. False God's going to try and figure out a response. He thinks he can kill the Sacreds. We'll have to see what happens. I don't have super great scout coverage over here, and my internet's out, so I can't go get better scout coverage. So we'll just have to rely on reports from the False God. He doesn't want me to attack through this area, so I'm going to attack through this area. So I'm starting to mobilize. So the Malika are moving out, because I'm going to need all the mage support I can get. The Mukarib are also moving out. Although they're moving out more to do a little bit of site searching. I would like a little bit of Pearl income. So maybe not a great time for it, because I could really use their 40 research, but that's what we're going to try and do with them really quick, is just site search the cap ring and then come back in. So I guess it's, what was that? 10 research out, site search is 10, move back in is 10. Oof, losing 30 per. I should probably just research with these guys and maybe alchemize and do remotes. I'm not sure if that's efficient doing what I'm planning on doing. But internet is still out, so I can't fix it. So if we end up committing to that, then that's what we commit to. A little bit of bonus to the astral searching is their holy 2 paths. So getting some of that out will help, I think. And then the army is, we have some of these Caribs for blessing support. They're heading out to this fort. we have this guy coming out with 65 sacreds up to Glannis. Some of the other mages are moving up to Blue Coast to get ready, because they're going to have to... I'm going to want to move around Fukan, so I don't disease the crap out of my troops, especially expensive mages. We're still doing a little bit of site searching. This guy's starting to come back. And then we're going to go ahead and finish this giant palisades, and then we'll start moving out our camel riders. So we'll probably start with the first wave of camel rider raiding, and then we'll follow up with more proper armies so we can see what his response is what I'm thinking, because the camel riders are pretty expendable. They're good, but they're expendable. And then it's going to take me like 3 turns probably to even get in position and start doing like a significant commitment. Probably 2 turns to get the camel riders going. So just trying to get everything ready. I'm getting some sacreds, because we do plan to come to Pyrene's aid here. I really don't want Jotunheim controlling all this. And especially freezing this river and attacking me over this river, that just sounds awful. I'd probably just die. So I may as well help out Pyrene here. And now, to Snuggles' credit, he did offer me a nap 3, but I have a feeling that if he got to be a 2 cap like this and I was still kind of small, that he'd go ahead and end that napping and kill me. I mean, that's what I would do. So if the shoes were swapped, so I probably just would have gone after Zan instead, but maybe he wants to go after False God. So spread more cold over the world, so to speak. And then Zan's already fighting a war, so it'd be kind of rude to interrupt his 1v1. So maybe that's why he's going after Pyrene. Suppose he could have gone after Man. Maybe that would have been maybe a little bit tighter front he could have done. Or Ulm. I don't know if I'd want to run Jotun Giants into Ulm, though. They hit really hard and they have a lot of armor. So maybe he's thinking Pyrene. But we'll see if we can intervene. We did change up our research. We're going to go ahead and pick up Blood Magic 1. Just so we can do the basics. Might start doing some scout hunting. I do have that site. So I have picked up a number of blood slaves. So we're going to go ahead and get Blood Magic 1. I'm going to rush up. So I have finally done testing. So I tested a number of different situations, and maybe I'll do a couple of videos on that testing. I was trying to figure out different ways to kill his sacreds, and I heard from Pyrene that he's got magic weapons on them now. So that made it even trickier. What I discovered was evocation magic, the mages don't have great spell selections, and they don't aim well. So evocations, I think it's just in a really bad place right now. They do okay for the script you give them, and then because my guys are fire resistant, they start casting a bunch of like magma bolts and stuff, but they're not taking advantage of the giant's shock vulnerability. So I want them to be casting air magic, and they're casting fire magic. So it's not very good, and the test did not go very well. What did go well was Soul Slice spam. Even if they swap to doing other stuff, just the initial script does very well at killing a lot of giants. So we're gonna try and I wanted to go up to Thom 4 anyways, so running up Thom works, and while I'm doing that I can get more and more Mukarib. So my initial wave will probably be Sacreds and Camel Riders, and I'm assuming it's going to struggle against any Sacreds he rolls out, maybe even against normal giants. But if he tries to push into me, I think I should be able to get that research done, and I can deploy a whole bunch of Mukarib doing Soul Slay, and I think I can make him very unhappy with that. So that's what I'm thinking about there. So Thumb 5 coming first now. Then we'll go for Conjuration 3. Conjuration 3 is pretty good. You get Summon Earth Power. Call of the Winds can be nice for Patrol Chaff, for Blood Hunting, and for very light rating. You get Phoenix Power, also nice. Some of the lesser elementals, like lesser air elementals, might be okay. Against the regular Jotun Giants, probably not the Sacreds if they have magic weapons. Although you might get a lucky stun, but yeah. And then Pride of Lions, get the Sacreds. I don't have a way to do Nature 2 just yet, but I mean, 15 plus Lions could provide a little bit of kill each half for 9 Nature. You get Power of the Spheres in here too, which is also really good. And then Conjuration 4, you get Jinn, so I can summon my own commanders. So a lot of good stuff there. You get the water kobolds too, if you with Water Glamour, which I believe I have on my god. So Conjuration 4 would also be pretty nice. We're going for Alt 5. That's for a couple of reasons. Alt 4 gives Mist Form, which is good against everything but his Sacreds. Destruction would damage a lot of armor, so it'll help my Sacreds do better by damaging his armor. I think Group Barkskin helps me. Might get my mages to stop casting fire spells too, which is what I'm wondering. Also in here is Cold Resistant Warriors, which should be really nice. Incinerate is good. Storm is good. Just for being able to do Storm Power to get more powerful air magic. Maybe we can bias the AI towards casting it more. Let's see. Iron Skin is in here. Although maybe Group Stone Skin would... No, that's a cold vulnerability. I don't know, probably stick to Bark Skin. I don't want to mess... Because if I do Iron Skin, then I'm vulnerable to air magic and my mages will stop casting air magic. And if I do Stone Skin, then I'm vulnerable to cold, and the stupid cold auras on the Sacreds will murder me. Shatter is different. Oh, it adds a limp and a cripple. Only damage is inanimate. Okay. Don't worry then. Yeah, so that's what we're looking for at Alt 5. I think there's a group lightning resist too. And then finishing out Evo 5 eventually. So that's kind of what we're looking at. While Ballin finishes out his war with Bandarlog. And yeah, we're now producing our own alcohols. We have 4 air income. So we can definitely buy quills from Sakane, who's playing Ulm, and make our own for quite a while. We've got a lot of air income. So I'm going to try and take advantage of that. Try to boost my research even while I'm fighting this war. Would like to really get it moving, because 100 is not good. I think if all the mages were researching, it'd probably be about 240, I want to say, but we're mobilizing a little bit. Yeah, I should really keep these Mukarib researching. I don't think we need pearls right now. I think we need research. So I should probably have these guys research. So hopefully my internet comes back and I can fix that. Yeah, so talking a lot of shop with False God. Keeping an eye out on the Abyssia Bandarlog conflict. I suppose I could go show you Fascia, if I can find them. There we go. So here's Fascia. So you can see there's a whole bunch of Asphodel stuff here in the neighborhood. So this army is going to have a real tough time cracking this and getting in here. Hopefully they can sail in some reinforcements, but yeah, I think Fascia is going to be in for a tough go of it. Distant Horizon has a pretty good build for Asphodel, just really focusing in on those centaurs. Might be early game focused, but maybe that's all he really needs. So, and he's pretty large, so maybe you can turn that into a lot of gold to build forts and get more of his mannequins. So we'll see how Ulm does. I think False God said he saw man fighting Asphodel. Okay, we can see it here. They're sieging a fort. And then we've seen Ulm, I think it was last turn, Ulm was attacking Asphodel as well. So we kind of have the Grand Coalition on Asphodel, where it's Fascia, Kidson, and Sakane going after Distant Horizon. Meanwhile, Balin is killing iFlight, who's playing Bandarlog. And if he does succeed in that, Balin would be very good at fighting Asphodel. Abyssia is very... Fire shields, his Fire Shield Blast would do very well against mannequins. And then Vanarus and Kripa are fighting. So we'll have to see how that goes. And then I think I'm technically the only free agent, but I'm not truly free. So I'm getting my part of the Defensive Alliance activated against Snuggles, and we're planning our attack on him. And I'm going to try and get some more forts up. So this fort's getting going. This fort's getting going. And if I can get 4 forts pumping out, like, if I can get 4 Mukarib a turn, whew, that'll put Jotunheim out in a bad way. Because Mukarib are very efficient at killing giants, in my testing at least. So we'll give that a go. And I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. So I'll go ahead and see you in turn 21. Have a good one.